Jason, you ready? Come on in, find you a seat. And we got our audiovisual guru adjusting. Boy, that's good. Good sound. Can everybody hear me? All right. Of my people, right? Da, did it, did-da. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name's Stephen Bible, N7HPR. I'm the president of TAPR, and I want to welcome everyone to the ARRL and TAPR Digital Communications Conference. This is the 38th annual conference, and we're really excited to be here in the Detroit Metro area. So we got a few welcome comments to make, and then we'll get started with the first talk of the morning at 9:45. So first off, we'd like to recognize our ARRL officers here are present with us. We got Jay Nugent. Jay, right there. So he's the technical coordinator. So if there's anything in this entire conference you don't understand, ask Jay. He has big shoulders, but he's a really good technical feller. Ralph Katz. There's Ralph right there, Public Information Officer, newly appointed. Okay, wonderful. Jay Swartz. There you go. And also another Public Information Officer. Okay, wonderful. So for those of you that are local, here are your local ARRL officials for the Michigan section attending the Digital Communications Conference. So welcome, gentlemen. Well, let me ask real quick, all right, raise of hands. How many is this your first time to the Digital Communications Conference? Holy cow, wow. How many here are local in the area? Wow, so that's got to be a good 30 people there. So welcome, and we promise you a very good show. Want to thank George Burkett. So he's one of your locals. He's up in Ann Arbor. He is a TAPR board member, and he also does audio-visual. Where'd you go, George? Oh, okay. So there you go. He's one of you. George wanted to bring it to the Detroit area, and he was the one that went through all of Ann Arbor and Detroit scouting for hotels. So he was quite instrumental in bringing it to the Detroit area. Yeah, we're having quite a demand for bringing the DCC to a number of cities, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in a moment. Another thank you is I want to thank the Amateur Radio Digital Communications Organization for a student grant that they gave us. And we have a number of professors and students in the audience. So for the students that are part of the grant, will you please stand up? There we go. So you can sit down now, thank you. So for the rest of you graybeards here, and you know who you are, mentor these youngsters here. So this is an opportunity for them to see what amateur radio is doing in experimentation, citizen science, and just plain having fun, okay? And of course, this is a technical conference, so we like to pride ourselves in working on the bleeding edge of amateur radio art and technology here. We also have a couple of professors that were also part of the sponsorship, so that would be Dan. There he is. So Dan from Valparaiso, and then I would be remiss that we also have the Army from West Point. We have two, a professor and a student. Won't you, Stephen and Nolan? I don't think Nolan's quite realized what he's got himself into yet, so welcome, you guys. Really appreciate it. Any other students and professors that I haven't mentioned? Oh, welcome. Oh, Nathaniel, stand up, you big guy. And this is Nathaniel, professor. Is it University of Scranton? Okay, so he just recently took up a position at the University of Scranton. So we're going to hear more from Nathaniel and announce him. Thank you. Welcome. This is really exciting because in the past, TAPR has sponsored a number of students, but what's been really wonderful this year is, as you can see, a number of professors and students that are attending, and with the ARDC grant, we're able to bring more here. So support and thank ARDC for their support of these students and professors, and also put out the word that, hey, here's some opportunities, because it's really, this is not as rigorous as, let's say, an IEEE conference, but it is great experience to get students up in front presenting and work their way into tougher and tougher presentations. Okay, first things first, what's the most important information? What the Wi-Fi is. So the Wi-Fi is free throughout the hotel here, and you basically just have to find an SSID. There's Marriott Conference, there's Marriott Guest. I think a lot of you have probably already found it. So there's really no password, and you're in, you're good, okay? Next is the bathrooms, okay? Don't use your Wi-Fi in the bathrooms. You might be electrocuted. So go out the back, turn left, and it's just to your left, all right? So left, and you'll find the bathrooms. Yeah, just past the registration. Okay, so a little bit about the schedule. Here you are. You're in the main session. This is the ballroom area. The demo room is right across, so if you just walk through these doors and keep going, already 3/4 of the tables are already taken and already have people's demos set up on there. So thank you very much for bringing your demos. Highly, highly encourage you to bring your toys and the things that you're experimenting on. If you're not presenting up here at the podium, then you can be showing off in the demo room. And we will set aside time later today and tomorrow to be able to spend time in the demo room. For lunch today and tomorrow, we're going to go outside the door, turn left, and you're going to see a buffet table. And then the Smithfield and the Livonia are immediately to your right. So basically we have 2 rooms. They're not connected that we're going to be able to have our lunch in, okay? If you would still like to purchase a lunch ticket, we have a couple available. That you bought the last one? Okay, we're going to pretend that we didn't hear that. If you would like a lunch ticket, talk to John Coster. And that goes for Saturday lunch and also the banquet. Now, the Friday social tonight is open to everyone. So I went ahead and put up today's menu, so go ahead and take a look at that. Are you hungry now? I know, that was what was funny, because when I was making these slides, I could almost use the Albuquerque ones because we had a Mexican meal on Friday. I guess TAPR, originating in Tucson, it's kind of tradition, we have to have a Mexican meal. Okay, so this is for today. Now, tonight, starting at 6 o'clock, we're going to be on the patio. So thankfully, the weather's in good shape today. Go out the door, take a left, just keep going through the double doors, and you'll see a patio out there to the right. And it'll be set up. There will be a bar. Tapper will purchase the soft drinks, and the alcohol is your purchase. Okay? Yeah, I didn't put the menu up there, but there's a couple of food stations out there. Now, the social is big enough that it's your evening meal, okay? Unless, of course, you want to have it as a snack after a meal, but in other words, you don't have to go out and eat. There's plenty of food there for Friday night. And as I mentioned, bring your guest. Lightning talks. So on the schedule, right after lunch today and tomorrow, we've set aside a slot for lightning talks. Lightning talks are 5 minutes long. You should basically put together no more than 2 or 3 slides, because at the 5-minute mark, you're going to be pulled. And to give a lightning talk, get a scrap piece of paper, put your name and call sign, that'd be good too, and the title of your talk, okay? So between now and lunch, fill out a piece of paper, give that piece of paper to me, and then I'll put together the lightning talk schedule right after lunch. So this is your opportunity to talk about something very quickly in 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a little bit longer than an elevator pitch, okay? So if you've never done a lightning talk and you got the urge to get something out there, this is your opportunity. Here we go. So I inserted the slide in the wrong place. So this is tonight. So there's several tables. There's these things called horse-adorvies. That's how I pronounce it. So we have, as you can see here, vegetarian spring rolls, beef Wellington, barbecue chicken, drumettes, coconut shrimp, and mashed potato bar, and not to be outlasted here, a farm stand chop salad. So all kinds of greens and vegetables and stuff there. So I hope for the vegetarians and vegans here, I hope that we have considered you and gotten a good selection for you is there. If not, please talk to me and I'll work with the hotel for you. Saturday lunch, same place. Here's the menu for tomorrow. It's a pure Michigan, so for those that are local here, you'll recognize this. For those of you that have not eaten Michigan, here's your chance. Then you can kind of impress your friends. Tomorrow, we're going to have an intro session, and we have 2 talks. It's going to be up on the 2nd floor, so you need to go to the elevators, go up to the 2nd floor, take a left, and you'll find the Romulus room. And there we will conduct our intro sessions. This is for tomorrow, Saturday. And we're going to have a banquet tomorrow. This is the banquet menu. Italian buffet. Our banquet speaker, Bill Brown, WB8ELK, is kind of the father of amateur radio ballooning. Now, regretfully, Bill called me yesterday and he has a sinus infection, so the doctor recommended that he not fly. So what we're going to do is we're going to arrange a Skype session tomorrow for Bill, so during the banquet, yes. So his title of his talk is the Digital Modes on Amateur Radio High Altitude Balloons. So, yeah. Right, so the banquet is going to be held in this location. So when we finish tomorrow, we're going to vacate the room. The hotel's going to come in, change this room around for the banquet. And of course, our banquet presentation will be up here on the screen. We will have an open bar outside starting at 6. And then the doors will open up at 7 and we'll file in and we'll have our meal. And it'll be another buffet. Okay? Any questions on the meals? Sunday seminar, we're really happy to have Dan White and Corey Shields. You saw Dan. Here's Corey over here, waving his hand, trying to be inconspicuous. And they're going to talk about building a SatNog station and start contributing. So this is another citizen science, and I think you guys and gals will find this quite interesting. SatNogs has gotten lots of recognition. They won the Hackaday Prize in 2014, and when Hackaday first started it, and they're doing some exciting things. So it's really great to have Dan and Corey and crew here presenting about SatNogs. Ham Radio 2.0. So Jason, come on up. So Jason's graciously recording all of the talks today and tomorrow and Sunday, and he did at the DCC last year in Albuquerque.
Thank you. Yeah, somebody said in the back, somebody said the mic is really hot. It kind of is back there, but it sounds fine. Everybody can hear me okay? All right, good. George is the man to talk to about the sound, but it's good. Thank you for letting me be here again. This is a really good turnout. We had probably about this many last year in Albuquerque, and I had a lot of, I put all the talks from last year up on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Ham Radio 2.0. You'll find it there. I created an entire playlist that lists out the 15 or so sessions from last year, and I'll do the same thing for this year. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you to those of you who donated to the Kickstarter to help me just fund the travel here. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and had to buy a plane ticket and all that. But also I have a Patreon page. If you go to Patreon/Ham Radio, you can find me on there. But I put up a new video about twice a week, usually. And I do a lot on the digital modes also. But the newer, kind of the tagline of my show, the reason I call it 2.0 is what is new in amateur radio? I say that a lot. What is new in amateur radio? So I like to focus on all the new stuff. And this is, there's a lot of stuff that's presented at TAPR that are concepts that later become reality. So this is basically where new ideas are born. So I'm really happy to be here. So thank you for allowing me, Steve.
Let's give Jason a big hand. One of the themes when it comes to an organization like the ARRL, who one of their pillars is the technical, and TAPR, who wants to advance the digital radio art, is we want to get this word out. So thank you to the paper presenters that submitted papers. They have printed into a paper proceedings. I think what's pretty exciting about these proceedings, once they get published, they get an ISBN number. Okay, that's what's really important right there, because this becomes a real book, Library of Congress type of book, and it can be found. So you are contributing to the art of amateur radio by getting published in this proceedings. Not only that, coming up here and presenting and getting recorded and put up on YouTube for all the world to see. So this is a way of getting the word out. Okay, George. So one thing about being up here is the first 2 minutes are the most important 2 minutes of your whole presentation, because when people are watching you on YouTube, okay, the first 2 minutes are going to decide if they're going to hang on and watch you through the rest of it. So capture their attention right there in the first 2 minutes. If ever you get an opportunity, go to YouTube. There's a hints and tips page up there about what you should do with your video. It's really worth reading. And of course, when you're getting up in front of folks or recording, or even recording your project to post up on YouTube, it gives you really good advice on how to be recognized. Supporting TAPR, you can support TAPR through dues, donations. We are a 501c3 organization, so we can give you a receipt for your contributions, and of course they're tax deductible. Consult your accountant. And you can also go up to smileamazon.com. Future DCCs, as I mentioned, there's really a lot of pull to bring the DCC to various cities. So 2020 is Charlotte, North Carolina. We signed the contract, we're going to Charlotte. So Roland, are you in the audience? So Roland, stand up please. This is the man who wanted to bring it to Charlotte, and we've been working for the past couple of years, haven't we? So do you want to tell a little bit about Charlotte real quick? Oops, I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, let me say, we hope you all come to Charlotte. Charlotte's a vibrant, growing community. I think we found a nice place for the conference at the Renaissance Suites. It's a couple of miles from the airport, so a little further than it is to get from Detroit to here. But there is a hotel shuttle, free shuttle, so that they'll get you to the conference. And I'm associated with the Charlotte Digital Radio Group, which is a non-club, it's just a group. But so I'm what's called a local sponsor. I don't have to do a lot though. But I've also gotten the largest Charlotte club, the Mecklenburg Amateur Radio Society, to also be a co-host. So we're looking forward to having you in Charlotte, and we hope we give you a good time there. Thanks.
Thank you, Roland. And Roland's selling himself short. Him and his crew have done a tremendous amount of work and helping bring it to Charlotte. And we're excited to go to Charlotte. We've never been there before, and we're really excited because the area there is really quite vibrant. I also mentioned it's not a done deal yet, but GNU Radio is working with the hotel to follow the DCC. So if you wanted to go to Charlotte and get 2 for 1, you can attend the DCC Friday through Sunday, and then GNU Radio Con will be Monday through Friday. Okay, so that's in the works right now. As I mentioned, GNU Radio Con hasn't signed a contract yet. We have, but they're working hard on that. So that was one of the things that we wanted to try to accomplish this year. Okay? 2021 will be the 40th anniversary of Tucson Amateur Packet Radio TAPR. So naturally, we're going to go back to Tucson. So we're going to start that search here pretty soon, and then we're eyeing Chicago for 2022. So you can see that we've got a lot of these years planned out way in advance. So if there's a particular city that you'd like to bring the Digital Communications Conference to, please come up and have a chat with me. And Hamvention will be coming up in May. If you would like to present at our forums or even present or show off at our booth, we'd love to have you. So come on up and chat with us, and we'll make arrangements for Hamvention 2020. Okay, any questions before we start up the talks? Yes. Okay, so TAPR, we will have an annual membership meeting tomorrow. It's right at the end of the talks. We encourage you, it's not mandatory, but we highly encourage you to attend. What we do is we present the state of events for TAPR in a few short minutes, and it'll give you an opportunity to see how the organization is run and what we're working on. Yeah, we also are in the process. We have 9 board of directors, 3 of which are up for nomination. If any of you would like to become a board member of TAPR, and we highly encourage, I'm sure you think we all are doing an outstanding job, but we really, really would like to get some new ideas and new thoughts and new blood into the organization so that we know that it's well taken care of after we retire. Okay? Okay, someone left a Samsung charger at the registration table. All right, with that, let's. Oh, okay. This is Scotty. Say hi. Scotty, say hi to everyone else. All right, so Scotty is basically taking your presentations on a flash drive and putting them on the computer up here. If you'd like to use your computer, still come up and see Scotty so we can do a test and get things set up ahead of time. Okay? Will that do? All right. All right, so without further ado, let's switch gears and let's get our first speaker up, which is John Ackerman.